What's up, guys? This is Matt Dollar, and I'm here today with a little bit of partial coverage from the Iron Leaf Classic. We'll be picking it up in the second round on hole number 6, and I'm pretty excited to bring this video to you because Perkerson Park is beautiful and doesn't have a lot of exposure. So it's actually the only course inside the city of Atlanta. So I have a 6-stroke lead going into hole number 6 of the second round in this B-tier event. And it is a one-day, 2-round tournament. Both rounds here at Perkerson. A few pins changed. So this is hole number 6. It's about 300 feet. Plays about 360 and it's uphill. I threw a lucid defender up the right side as far as possible and just let it fade at the end. We got Jimi Hadley here. Jimi pulls it just a little bit, trying to hug that right side. It's going to be a tough up and down from that left side over there. Now we got Martin Young. Martin is originally out of Kentucky, but he's been living in Georgia for about 5 years, moved down here to work for Prodigy Disc. Another transplant is Barry Ramsey. He was in North Carolina a few years back, now he's in the Atlanta area. We got a lot of great golfers moving to the Atlanta area, and the local scene is just getting stronger and stronger. So Jimi Hadley's over here on the left side. He's going to have to keep this low and throw it really hard and get a skip, or risk hitting the canopy. And he does risk that, and it rolls him back down the hill, so he's going to have a bogey. Tough little green, too. It's more uphill than it looks like on video, and those rocks around the basket were definitely make for a potential roll away anytime you miss your putt. So you really want to make your putt. And we got Brad Ramsey from just outside the circle, took some chains, not able to get his birdie in. Now Martin Young, just inside the circle, misses that one and catches the stairs and rolls on down. I'm the only one with a shot at a 2 left, and I do get it in there. So that'll extend my lead to 7 strokes at this point. So Perkerson Park has been maintained by the city of Atlanta since like 1950, I believe. So it's definitely has this old feel to it. It's really cool and really pretty. There's this stone creek that runs through the entire course, and you will see it in a little bit. So Brad Ramsey taps out for his par, and we'll move on to hole 7. Playing about 360 feet, it is downhill and turns to the left. I go with a fluid enforcer there. Got it just a little bit too high, and that leaf is going to kick me into the tree. Looks like I'll get my first miss of the round. There's Huff, throws it in the middle, but not enough to get there. Brad Ramsey's throwing a much better shot. He's a little bit to the right, but that will give him a long look at birdie. The thing is, though, it's hard to get back left enough once you get down there near the green, and so then you end up having a long downhill death putt. So Jimi throws a great looking shot there. That's going to get him up there pretty far. Jimi should have a look around circle's edge. Martin takes it a little bit tighter, and if you cut through that side, that is how you get a birdie putt. Good shot from Martin, and that should give him a look at birdie. So I'm about 60 feet short left of the basket here. I'm just going to try to get up there and get close, and maybe get it in there. Not quite this time. The bar's okay. We just birdied 6 in a row. Bryan Huff lays up, smart move. And Brad takes a pretty safe little jump putt at it. Really didn't want to run down that hill. Oh, Jimi drops the bomb. Jimmy's got a beautiful looking putt. Has this nice little loft hyzer to it, and hits it exactly where he wants it. Great birdie from Jimi. Martin just inside the circle again, putting for birdie. And nice putt from Martin to get his birdie. Nice bounce back there. Everyone else will tap in for their par, and we will move on to hole number 8. Hole 8 is downhill about probably only 230, 250 feet this round. They moved into the short position. But it is a tight downhill shot, and you really want to throw a putter and have it just hold as straight as possible. That's the key move here. Martin throws a good looking shot. It's going to fade out just a little bit there at the end. I don't think this hole is quite as short as it looks on video. In real life, it's still a nice little shot to get there. I'm going with a thumber with pretty good line to it, just carried a bit too far left once it got down near the green. Now we got Brad Ramsey taking his putter, and he has got it going right at the pin. Good looking shot from Brad. Almost throws it in for an ace. So Jimi hit early, and now he is on the left side of the fairway, and he's going to have to throw some kind of spike hyzer to get out of here. He's probably only 120 feet from the basket, but it's a weird angle. It was a good looking shot, but kind of catches one of those limbs, and it keeps him out to the right. He's got a death putt to save his par. Run at this, you got a chance at double bogey if you miss. Jimi takes his chances. It was a good bid, but that's going to cost him because it rolled down the hill. Brian Huff wants no part of that. He lays up again. I'm over here near the next tee pad. I'm going to have to throw a sidearm Cenas to get out of here. Little Anheuser. Ooh, almost got it in there. And we got Martin Young from down below the hole. Putting for his 2. There's a nice little jump putt up there. It's going to give him a safe par. So Jimi needs this to save his 4. Not going to be able to get it up high enough. That's quite a tough putt from down there in those trees. Brad Ramsey scooted on past, but he still has the chance for birdie. Going to tickle those chains again, but not quite able to get the birdie. So we move on to hole 9, which is one of my favorite holes here. It's this really cool wooded par 4. You throw uphill, and you see that tree that kind of looks like it's in the middle of the fairway. You turn to the right a bit. Kind of where that's going, but I'm going to go too far right there. That was a hatchet, a good beat up hatchet. So once you turn that corner, it starts going downhill, and you want to straighten back up.
That looks pretty
Bryan
standard
Huff
right there. Good
shot there. A lot of people will just throw mid-ranges, or a lot of pro players will just throw mid-ranges here just to try and get up into the gap so that you have a shot at your birdie, which is a 3. But today I decided to just throw the hatchet as hard as I could and see how far up there I could get.
There you go, Jimi.
It worked out pretty good both rounds. Jimi throws a rock there, I believe, and just lands it right in the middle of the gap. If you hit early on this hole, or if you don't make that gap, you're not going to get a birdie. If you hit early, you're definitely going to get a bogey. So, Jimi throws what looks like a good shot, but he is hit by a tree that we couldn't see there. And that's going to cost him. He's going to have to throw another good shot to get up and down for a par. Now Brian's having to stand in a very awkward standstill, backward stance, patent pending, some might say. Actually, I guess it's not because his right foot's behind the mini. Oh, pulls it right into a tree. Now he's going to have to tough up and down the bar. I straddle out to the right and throw a sidearm thumber around the tree in front of me with a moonshine spark, and I'm able to get it up there for an easy birdie. Jimi throws a good shot there that's going to get him a chance at par. Now Brian Huff looking to do the same. Brian Huff is a local player out of Athens, Georgia, about an hour and a half from Atlanta. You might remember Brian from my Thumber Throwdown video recently where he was in the lead card the second round. Brad Ramsey throws his up shot. Now we got Martin from about 30 feet. Martin is not quite able to get that one in there. These baskets, if you don't hit them center, these heavy chains are not going to let you stick. But Brad squares one up there. Good putt from Brad. Here's Jimi to save his par. Jimi with another good putt. Tap in for bird, and we will move on to hole number 10. Hole 10 is in the right position today, and actually it was in the left position the first round, but the right position the second. So I'm taking the right-hand route, which usually don't see that many people take. Most people take this route here that Martin's going with sidearm or a backhand mid-range or putter. Up throws a pretty good-looking shot there. Now we got Brad. He's going to show you the backhand. Takes a putter, throws it up the left side, and it flips pretty good. Nice looking shot from Brad.
Nice.
Brad has very nice control with those putter backhand shots. Jimi's going to take a thumber down the right side. Good shot from Jimi.
That's the great thing about a thumber.
believe Jimi Thummer's a Firebird there. Now we got Bryan Huff finally getting a little aggressive on these downhill putts. So I mute the video a little bit here, but man, the loudest plane in the world goes by. Kind of rattled everybody. I probably should have taken a little more time before I threw this birdie putt here. Got a little bit of a weird stance. I'm really not that far from the basket, probably only 20, 23 feet. Maybe 25 feet at most. Jimi also with a little weird stance here. Trying to straddle out from this tree on a short birdie putt. So both good thumbers get up there and don't make birdie. That's a bummer. Martin taps in from up above the basket. And Brad with a nice birdie there. Huff also taps in, and we will move on to hole number 11. Hole 11 is this beautiful par 3 coming in about 380 feet.
Bring it up.
And Martin Young with the magic trick shot right there. If you want to see that one again, look at the other videos on my site. And I've got a video where that one's in slow-mo and then in reverse. So, really crazy looking shot from Martin. Just bounced right off the little wood ties they have surrounding the basket. I'm going to go with my beat up mace here and just smash it as hard as I can. You really don't want to go left and go out of bounds here, and then if you turn it over early right into the woods, it's pretty hard to get a par. So I was really just trying to play it as safe as possible with the big lead. Jimi throws a pretty good looking shot. If it hyzers out, it's
got one
going
over here.
great.
We'll throw it to you. Or get it.
Nice shot from Jimi. I believe that's an FD that he's throwing there. Might be an FD too. We got Bryan Huff for birdie from the left side. Hits it center, but just a little bit low. Ooh, I squirreled my birdie in the left side there. So now you can see that piece of wood that Martin hit that popped him straight up in the air, then rolled 40 feet, and he didn't quite make his birdie. Jimi strokes another nice putt. If you notice Jimi's putts, they almost always hit center. So now we move on to another par 4. We're going uphill and turning to the right. Basically, if you throw a shot like Brad just did right there, then you will be in perfect position every time. I should probably be doing what he's doing. Instead, it looks like I'm lining up some kind of tomahawk. Never really done this play on this hole before. And that's not what you want. I actually bogeyed this hole the first round of the tournament, trying to play a big sky ante backhand. And I decided I would go with an overhand, but I should have probably just went with a thumber like I usually do up this left side that you can't quite see on video. Martin throws a good looking backhand. I believe that's just a little too tight. I believe that was a fairway driver. One of their F series from Prodigy. Bryan throws a turnover with a driver, and this is even better than Brad's shot. That's a beautiful drive from Bryan Huff. So I'm probably still 350 feet away from the basket, and it's really uphill from where I'm at. So I'm going to try to throw this big thumber just to the right of the fairway and have it pan back left. There's not a great angle. I remember this one. I was really trying to just hit the initial gap, and then if it panned enough, or if it came back out of its pan, good. If it didn't, whatever. I just wanted to get as far as possible and ensure that I get a par after the shot. So I threw it pretty good. It just never came out. It went pretty far straight, pretty far left. Should give me a pretty easy shot at par. Martin throws a little tricky sidearm Annie. Nice shot from Martin. I think a lot of people would have taken the gap to the right of that with a sidearm just to be safe. But he took the gap that was going to get him into a better gap later. So nice shot from Martin. Jimi's going thumber. Comes out just a little bit, but it's a very nice shot. That'll give him a long putt at birdie. Huff's also going to go with the thumber here. And he also comes out just a little bit too far to the right. They're both going to have long birdie putts.
Stand up.
And Brad throws a backhand up there, standard shot.
Oh yeah.
When you throw your drive that good, boy, you definitely want to get the 3 on this one. I'm gonna have to go with a sidearm Cenis. Got a little spicy, a little aggressive. I always try to go for those, but I generally don't go too far past. But when I do, you can't be mad because that's what you get when you go for it. Martin puts it on line again, but not quite had the height. Now we got Jimi Hadley from just outside the circle, putting uphill for birdie. He's already had a couple nice putts this round. Let's see if he can put one more together. Great putt from Jimi. Dead center again. So now Brian Huff is on the right side, pin high, putting for his birdie. Jimi dabbing on him in the background. Nice putt from Bryan. Now we got Brad also with a chance at birdie. 3 birdies on this hole is very good. I'm going to settle for par, and we're going to move on to hole number 13. Downhiller plays beside hole number 8, the other downhill one that Brad almost aced with a putter. And he almost rings this one up too. Brad is dialed in now that we're in this round. Jimi throws a good looking shot with a rock. Gonna hyzer out just a little too much at the end, but he'll have a putt for birdie. Now we got Brian Huff. Looks like he's gonna take a putter. Looks like a Nova. Releases a bit too early, and he's going to catch that tree on the inside, but there is another fairway on the left side, so he might have a shot out that way. I go with the soft Cenis here. I like the line. It was just a little bit too high, and it continued to sail on down that hill. Probably over there near the next tee pad. Martin straightens his putter out just a bit too much, and he's going to kick left side. So Huff is barely on the left side here. Still going to be a really tricky shot. He's going to have to throw it backwards and have an anhyzer float in the gap. And he executes this shot brilliantly. Nice shot from Brian Huff. That'll give him probably a 30-footer to save his par. Martin just puts one up there to get his easy par. And yes, indeed, I went a little too far. And now I'm throwing uphill, sidearm, anhyzer around some stuff with my soft Cenis. Once again, almost make it, but not quite. But I don't believe it went too far, so it should be an easy par. Man, Brad's beautiful shot did not yield a birdie. Jimi, though, just keeps banging these nice putts. He hits that one dead center yet again. And Martin taps in for his par. Huff with the save. That was a very good save from Huff. We'll move on to hole 14, downhill, 280 feet. And you'll see a lot of putters and rocks on this one. I like to go with the thumber here. Jimi went with the rock. I believe that right there was also a rock. Got a little too much on it. Huff turns his over. He is also throwing a rock. And he goes a little to the right side, but he gets through. He's going to have a putt for birdie down there. He's inside the circle. I take a felon, throw a little overhand, and I cut it the right side too, just like Huff, and get a little lucky, and I'm also putting probably right about circle's edge. The right side is friendly, and Martin tests the left side. It is not as friendly. So Martin and Jimi have a little bit of scrambling to do. Jimi throws a nice little bit up. Brad Ramsey running at that putt. So I've got about 30 feet left for my birdie. Putting with the judge. And barely crawled in the left side there. Huff's also got a chance. Oh no, he gets nubbed on the way in, and the heavy chains just say no thank you. Ramsey with a nice comeback putt though. Alright, I think we're having some battery issues, so we skipped hole 15, and this is hole number 16. That was a Warship I went with right there in the VIP plastic. And this hole is about 360 or 370 feet. It's downhill, and man, this is a gorgeous hole. You can throw straight up between those trees if you want, or you can play this low hyzer to the right side. That Warship skipped right up to the basket. I actually threw a stag on this the first round. It was going to go too far, but it hit the wood base right by the basket and kept it for an easy birdie. So I clubbed down to the Warship, and it flew perfectly. Nice birdie from Jimi. And I snagged the birdie there with my Warship. And we move on to hole 17. Another beautiful downhill par 3. This one coming in just under 400 feet. I go with the Lucid Defender and threw it pretty good, but it just had a little too much hyzer, and it's going to leave me with probably about a 40-footer, 50-footer out of that ditch. Jimmy takes an FD and just straightens it out perfectly. Beautiful shot. Now we got Brad Ramsey. So this is a cool hole. You can throw down that right side like he did, like we both did, or you can throw it straight and have it flex. I've seen both ways. There used to be another tree up in this gap on the right side, and that tree definitely made the right side harder. So now that it's gone, you see a lot more people take it that way. Martin's throwing a beautiful looking shot here. He straightens it out very nicely and has good fade at the end. So everyone took the hyzer route. Huff also straightens his up pretty nicely. He's going to be left over there with me though. So trying to jump putt in this ditch. Not sure what kind of success this is going to come out with, but I know that I'm like really close to the course record at this point. In a different layout, I set the course record at 46 a few years back in this great battle with Andrew Fish in this tournament. But on this layout here, I believe I would get the course record if I shot 47. So I would needed to birdie this hole and the last hole to shoot a 46. So I need to birdie the par 5 hole 18 if I want to get that 47 in. Martin with a great putt there for his birdie. I tap out for par. Jimmy gets a bird. And we move into hole 18, which is one of my favorite holes in the course. You got that creek running down the entire left side of the fairway, and you can see the basket, the flag up there in that gap on the right side. That is the basket way up there. It's like 900 feet. In the first round, you played to a basket position in that left side where you can see those people standing on the left. That's actually the group in front of us, because unless you're in the perfect position over there on the right side, almost no one takes that right-hand fairway. Most people go their second or third shot if they have to over where those people are standing on the left side of the screen, and then throw it up towards the basket. So in this position, you do not see a lot of birdies on this hole. We actually ran out of some battery, and we had our camera guy Will Peterson went gangster for us and pulled out his phone and filmed a few of these upshots here with his phone. So the quality's not quite as good, but it's still pretty good.
Come out, come out, come out.
Brad Ramsey throws an excellent second shot. Now you can see what I was talking about that left side being a little bit better. The only danger there is, you got to be careful about going to that creek on the left. As long as you can get your disc to the right side of that wood line on your third shot, you'll be okay. Jimmy throws a thumber, it catches a little roll. I'm not sure if he's going to be okay or not. I think it just stayed in bounds. So I went big thumber off the tee. I'm going big thumber second shot, and that's going to get me in great position to, guess what, throw another thumber and try and get my birdie. Gotta love a par 5 where you can throw 3 thumbers and get a birdie. Oh, Huff throws a good looking shot at that right side, but once he catches that last tree, it carries quite far down that hill. So Jimmy did not roll into the water, thank goodness, but he did roll into a little bit of thickness, so he's going to have to chip one out of here and then try to get up and down. Oh, very good shot from Jimmy. Puts a nice little anti-move on that forehand and gets it quite far up that hill, and that'll give him a chance to save his par. Martin with a turnaround catches those trees and drops them straight down. Brad's upshot needs to turn over but doesn't quite do it. Looks like once again I'll be the only one looking for a birdie on this hole. I'm going to go Moonshine Spark Thumber for the third time on this hole. Oh, and it just kisses the power pole at the very end. I thought it might go in when I thought it was going around the power pole, and then it just tickled the front of it. But it's still going to give me a putt for a birdie 4 on this hole and a course record of 47 in this layout. Jimmy chips his shot up. Martin's going to try to give his a bid. It's going to be really hard to get the height on this long putt. From about 60 feet.
Get it.
Oh, dead center, just low. Great bid from Martin Young. Brad Ramsey just chips his up there. Now Brian Huff takes his putt. Nice putt from Huff to finish. And I've got my putt for birdie. And that birdie will give me the victory and a 47 in that round. Jimi Hadley is going to slide into second with that great play coming down the stretch. And Brad Ramsey moved himself into a tie for third place with Martin Young. And Brian Huff is going to fall back to fifth place. So here's a look at the rounds and the ratings and the PDGA results from this event. I'd like to thank Latitude 64 for their amazing support. And I'd like to thank Barry Arnson for directing the tournament at Perkerson Park every year. And I would also like to give a big thanks to Will Peterson for coming out and filming part of this round so you guys could enjoy it. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and check back for more videos. Thanks, guys.